Clay Travis, Buck Sexton show. Buck out with his family. He'll be back with me on Monday, joined now by Senator from my home state of Tennessee, the official Republican nominee in the wake of yesterday's primary in the state of Tennessee, Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, you've got your race coming up. Thanks for joining us here on this Friday. But also, you know the importance of being in the majority. So we've obviously spent a lot of time talking about Trump versus Kamala now, and I'll probably ask you a bit about it. But how optimistic are you as you look at the larger board of available races that Republicans are going to take back control of the Senate? And what would it mean for your ability if you were a part of the majority as opposed to the minority?
Yes, indeed. And when you look at the races that are on the board, Montana, New Mexico, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Wisconsin, you see the opportunity for Republicans to win in each of these states. Michigan, which is an open state. But what it means is that we have to be diligent in getting our message out and talking about what it is going to mean to have Republicans in charge, because whomever is the majority in the Senate sets the agenda. It also allows us to block bad nominees. You know, the Senate is in the personnel business, and we're the ones that have to confirm all of the judges and the ambassadors and the executive appointments for the administration. So being able to block people that are not qualified, being able to block judges that are not, that have never been a judge and are wanting to go to the federal bench. So it makes a big difference, and we are hopeful with President Trump in the White House, we will be able to do a lot of good work on government reform, right-sizing the federal government, getting spending under control, which, by the way, has been the big driver of inflation, the out-of-control government spending. Of course, secure that border and deal with the crime and the gangs that have come into this country, and take care of our veterans. Right now, the VA has a 1 million case backlog, 1 million. And we also want to make certain that our allies around the globe know they're an ally and that our enemies fear us.
Senator Blackburn, you were in the hearing, I believe it was on Tuesday, the most recent. The Secret Service acting director is speaking right now. You pursued and helped to get the current Secret Service director out. I watch these videos. I mean, the Fox News has a new one that I'm sure you've seen of what looks like the guy with the gun running across the roof while Trump is talking. You've seen all the failures that occurred. I've said this can only be gross criminal negligence or intent. That is, they intentionally failed. It's hard to believe the second could be the case. What consequences are therefore, at minimum, a gross criminal negligent performance by everyone entrusted with protecting President Trump?
Well, these individuals need to be fired. The Secret Service works on two different things. One is counterfeiting, and the second is the personal security, and that is the security of right now a total of 31 people, and that is your current president, vice president, and their families, and then your former presidents, and then a few people in the administration that have had death threats. So that is the group that personal security is what they are tasked with. And, you know, Clay, as I've said many times, this isn't like you missed your budget numbers or you didn't get your casework quota complete. When the Secret Service messes up, people die. And that is exactly what you saw in Butler, Pennsylvania. And to this day, we still do not have the action plan. We do not know who cleared Donald Trump to go on that stage at 6 o'clock when an hour prior they had noted a suspicious person, and at 5:51 they deemed him a potential threat, and at 5:53 they alerted the sharpshooters. So how could anybody clear the former president. How could they do that? And we have to be mindful of that. And those are some of the answers we're wanting to get from the Secret Service.
When I know you're a mom and a grandma. A lot of people out there are really concerned about what their kids see online, and parents try to be as forthright and in control of that as they possibly can be. You guys are starting to address that in the Senate. What have you done, and how do you think it might help?
Yeah, the Kids Online Safety Act, which is the legislation that Dick Blumenthal and I have led in a bipartisan manner for about the last 3.5 years. We passed it on Tuesday with a 91-3 vote and passed it out of the Senate. It was a huge win, absolutely tremendous win for us. And it will now go to the House. What this bill will do is require your social media platforms to do safety by design. You know, we have all sorts of product design requirements on products in the physical world, but we have no requirements in the virtual space. So this is the first. It also will require a duty of care from these social media platforms. They must open up their algorithms. They must submit to an annual audit. And they have to have a toolbox for kids and parents so they can adjust these algorithms to determine what the child is seeing from the virtual space. You know, there are laws in the physical space. You cannot take a child to a strip show, a bar, a casino. You cannot sell alcohol, tobacco, pornography to a child. But in the virtual space, they're exposed to this every day, to the pornographic images, to people that are pushing suicidal ideation, to eating disorders. They're meeting drug dealers, alcohol dealers, sex traffickers, pedophiles, and it is ruining the lives of our children. And people have said, we have to put something in place so that we aren't just allowing kids to be exposed to this. We have to have some parameters. So this is the bill that will do that. And we are looking forward to seeing it finish in the House in September and then move to the president's desk.
We're talking to Senator Marsha Blackburn. You served, I believe, alongside of Kamala Harris for a couple of years in the Senate. Now that she is the nominee, what do you think, based on your knowledge of her from your experience, about the race against Trump and whether she's qualified or able to do the job of president?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be the same group of policies that you have had with Biden-Harris. She is going to continue that. And look at her record. When I was ranked the most conservative member of the U.S. Senate in 2019, Kamala was ranked the most liberal. She is for defunding the police. She is for ending cash bail. She has given to these bail funds that get criminals out of jail. She thinks that police should be treated like criminals and criminals should be tagged as victims. She has been the border czar where she failed miserably. She didn't even go to the lower Rio Grande Valley. When she went to the border, she went to El Paso. She thinks that all 10 million illegal aliens should be given free health care. They should be given the right to vote. As a matter of fact, she would do away with private health insurance for everyone. She thinks we need to go to government-run health care, and nobody has private insurance. Everybody can only have whatever health care the government says that you can get. She is for ending all oil and gas production in the U.S. and for passing the Green New Deal. And she would pack the court. She is for allowing boys in girls' sports. These are her positions. She is the most radical leftist person who has ever been on a ballot and run for president in the United States.
Senator Blackburn, congratulations on the Republican nomination. 90 days will congratulate you on another term in the United States Senate.
Thank
Hope you
you.
have a great weekend. Thanks for spending time with us.
Oh, you got it. Everybody can follow the campaign at MarshaBlackburn.com.
And if you're a Tennessean, you can vote for Marsha like I am. Talk to you again soon, Senator Blackburn. Appreciate the time.
Bye-bye.
Look, you just heard Kamala Harris dissected there in terms of what she actually believes. Marsha Blackburn said in 2019 she was rated the most conservative. Kamala Harris was rated the most liberal. If you think maybe some liberals could use a little bit more testosterone, if you watch Joe Biden wandering around on the White House lawn on a regular basis and you think to yourself, boy, that guy ain't doing well. Maybe it's just you. Maybe you're sitting here at 2:45 Eastern on a Friday and you're like, man, I don't know if I've got 2.5 more hours of work in me. Maybe you've already cut out of work and you're on your way home right now. Yeah, I can see you because you don't have the energy to work another couple of hours. What about a little bit more testosterone in your life thanks to chalk? All natural. Male Vitality Stack can increase your testosterone by 20% in as little as 3 months' time. I mentioned that Seaton, the owner of Chalk, was down in South Florida. Late at night, everybody's got early morning turn. Do you know who was still there? Seaton. He's got great energy, vim, vigor, vitality, testosterone, not an issue. If you do have that issue, if you'd like to be the last person at your community engagement, if you'd like to be able to have the energy to run out to your kids or your grandkids' events coming up this weekend and not be thinking, man, I can't wait to get into bed and sleep for 14 hours like Joe Biden, maybe you could add some chalk to your life. CHOQ.com is the website. Use my name, Clay, and you will get hooked up in a big way with the best possible deal on subscription for the life of your subscription. But maybe you're somebody out there, you don't love the website. CHOQ.com, again, is that website. You can call as well. 50-CHALK-3000. Say Clay and Buck sent me, and you will get a U.S.-based customer service team standing by to answer your questions and help you out. That is 50-CHALK-3000. 50-CHOQ-3000. Get hooked up with Chalk today.